What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Today we got some really exciting news from Plarium. They've released a new champion kit for us to evaluate, but also the new content that comes with this champion should make you guys all very excited. So let's jump right into the news. All right, so here is the official message that the content creators got from the Plarium community managers. Hey, we've added a separate new branch of missions that will become available simultaneously with the missions that unlock Ramontu, meaning that once you completed the missions to Arbiter, you'll be able to get Ramontu and this new branch at the same time. If you guys recall, the missions here for Ramontu, I've finished them, unfortunately. But they will be available when Ramontu becomes available, so immediately after Arbiter. There'll be 180 new progress missions divided into 3 groups, similar to how Ramontu was given to us as well. The new missions will focus on the following: Live Arena, Curse City, Hydra, Awakenings, Ascensions, and so on. So basically pretty endgame stuff. If I were to do it, I think I would put it after Ramontu, because I feel Ramontu is probably less endgame stuff than that stuff, but we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if people can get this new champion before Ramontu, but I'm not sure. We'll see how hard these new missions are. And of course, just as always, you'll receive various rewards for completing each task. Okay. Once you complete all 180 missions, you can claim your main reward, which is a new legendary champion. Okay, so Marius the Gallant. So let's jump into this champion a little bit. So Plarium describes the champion as a skinwalker, legendary defense champion. Meanwhile, Marius will be a valuable addition to the arena roster, as well as Hydra. So it's a Hydra and arena champion. So right now we actually don't have, I can't really think of too many that excel in both. Like, for example, like somebody like Taras is really good in Hydra, and he's just good everywhere in this game as well as arena. But I can't really think of too many else. I'm not too sure. I'll have to think about that a little bit. He has a strong AoE attack on the A1. That's great. So you can always pair that with like a Hex or Provoke set. Empowered by a rare Enfeeble debuff. Okay. Weakening the enemy team. So Enfeeble. Usually Enfeeble doesn't get applied to bosses, I think, because I think only the Panda has the Enfeeble debuff on their kit, and I don't think it applies to bosses. It's spiced up with some nice buffs from the A3. The immunity to turn meter reduction and decreased speed debuffs makes this horse unstoppable, which makes Marius a powerful asset for both PvP and PvE. All right, so let's see what they're talking about exactly here. All right, just have to move my head there a little bit. So Marius the Gallant. So it's actually a giant horse with a lance and a shield. You know, I'm not a huge fan of this character design. I think it's a little bit hokey pokey, but I guess a horse and then the speed ability or the immunity to speed debuffs is kind of a cool idea. But this is a first look. I haven't looked at the kit yet, so let's look at the kit together. So the A1 attack all enemies has a 35% chance of placing Enfeeble. So that's really good for obviously non-boss content, I believe. 4 books in there. You got some damage, you got some debuffs, so it looks like it needs to be fully booked for your to have a 50% chance of placing Enfeeble. The A2 Death or Glory, 4 turns cooldown down to 3 turns with 3 books. Attacks all enemies 3 times while triple hit AoE. Each hit decreases the duration of all enemy buffs by 1 turn. So that's good against Stone Skin. That's really good against Stone Skin, actually. Protected buffs will still be protected, unfortunately. But yeah, and bolster set will still be protected, but it's really good against, I guess, Stone Skin, I guess. 3 hits, so you have 3 chances at it. 100% chance. Yeah, I mean, pretty cool. Pretty cool ability. Triple hit AoE. Let's see how it hits. Probably won't hit too hard. Is A3 6 turn down to 4 turn with 2 books, so not too much books in this champion. That's great. You love to see it. Places a 50% increased accuracy and increased defense on all allies for 3 turns. So 3 turn buff with increased accuracy and increased defense. I mean, very solid for Hydra. Very solid for, even just setting up like a debuffer in arena or setting up a defense nuker in arena. Then places a stun debuff on the enemy with the highest turn meter for 1 turn. Then grants an extra turn. Oh, okay, interesting. So let's see. The stun goes on the enemy with the highest turn meter. So you stun that one, and then you get an extra turn. So what would you do here? So you would go A3 into triple hit. I'm not too sure what's the best sequence here, but that's a pretty cool, interesting A3. I'm kind of liking it a little bit. So his passive, Steadfast Knight. This champion is immune to turn meter reduction effects and decreased speed. Okay. Whenever an enemy changes form or attempts to decrease this champion's turn meter, counter attacks using this champion's default skill. That is pretty cool. That's actually really strong. So it's obviously made to counter mythical champions. I'm thinking Mikage right away, because Mikage actually has a passive that decreases champions' turn meters, but it's only decreasing this champion's turn meter. So it's not a team-wide effect. And then this champion counterattacks with the Enfeeble AoE. That's actually really interesting. I don't know how strong this would actually be. Attempts to decrease this champion's turn meter. So AoE turn meter reduction, like for example from I believe a Suzen does that. Won't be too good against this champion. The Enfeeble will be good against PV against enemy mobs, non-boss content, so arena makes sense. Yeah, it's an interesting passive, and that's just a passive, so that's pretty interesting. His aura is increased ally defense in all battles by 35%, so not the strongest aura. I was really hoping for a speed aura, considering it's a horse, but yeah, to defense, not the best. You rather see like HP or arena or speed, of course, but defense could be useful in some places like Hydra, for example. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, as an end game, this is an end game prize, right? It's at the end of the 180 missions alongside Ramontu. Do I think it's more advanced than Ramontu? Probably not, I think, but I think the missions probably are going to be more difficult than Ramontu. Although I say that now, but Ramontu is pretty damn difficult when it first came, especially the one where you had to get the final fragment fusion, and it took many months of grinding secret rooms. I can only imagine what it will take to get this champion from the missions. Ascensions, so you'll be saving up your ascension materials, your ascension powders, for your gear. You'll be saving it up for that mission, and then you'll be spamming that during your missions, and that's just a huge energy sink, right? So let's take a quick look at what they said about the missions again. They also mentioned live arena, Curse City, Hydra, awakenings. So it might be something that we have to it might be something like awaken a magic champion, or awaken void champion. So they might have different awakenings for each affinity. They might have they might say something like, awaken 6-star awaken 1 champion or something. Like it might be something like that. So along those lines. Curse City, it's probably like some kind of completion task, complete 100 or complete how many secret rooms, similar to the quest that we have in the Curse City currently. Live arena, I can only imagine it's going to be like level 1 bonus up to 7, level 1 bonus up to 10, level multiple bonuses up to 7, similar to how the original Great Hall was. I can imagine the live arena having something similar, or it could be like do 200 battles or win 200 times, or some kind of threshold in that direction. But either way, it's going to be a bit of a grind to get this champion. So we won't see this champion for a little bit of time, most likely. And we don't know if any of the missions will be retroactive or anything like that. So anyways, guys, that's all for me today. That's some pretty cool content drop. I didn't expect them to add more missions, especially after Ramontu. I was hoping they would, but it just didn't seem like they would. It just doesn't seem like it was necessary. But this does increase the length of this game for a lot of people, so I think it's a net positive for the players. This is extra PvE content. Don't feel obligated to do it. This champion doesn't seem like it's a game breaking champion. It might be, but I don't think so. Um, so don't feel obligated to complete the missions. Don't feel bad if you cannot complete the missions. Um, just do it at your own pace. Enjoy the game. The game just got an extra runway of life on it with these new missions. So that's a good thing for players, right? But anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys learned something. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about all this. I think it's pretty exciting. And yeah, it's a good champ. Good champ. Looking forward to seeing what it can do. So anyways, guys, take care. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.